Ethan Cole opened his eyes slowly, his head hurting like someone had dropped a metal plate on it. For a moment, he thought he was still on Earth, maybe inside his small room, maybe dreaming after a long night. But the moment he looked up, his breath froze. The ceiling above him glowed with soft blue lights, moving like waves. Strange symbols floated across the glowing surface, changing shape every second. The air smelled clean, like metal and cold wind mixed together. The floor under him was smooth and warm, not like Earth at all. Ethan pushed himself up, confused and scared. Where am I? He whispered. There was no answer. The room was completely silent. No birds, no cars, no human sound. Only a quiet hum, like a giant engine breathing slowly. Ethan stood up, looking around. The room was round, shining with silver walls that seemed alive. Every few seconds, the walls pulsed with light, like the place had its own heartbeat. He touched the wall. It felt smooth, almost soft, like warm glass. He stepped back. This is not Earth, he whispered again. Then suddenly, the wall in front of him opened. It didn't slide, it didn't swing. It simply melted away into thin air, turning into a doorway. Ethan jumped back, his heart pounding. A long hallway appeared outside. It was glowing, with floating lights moving beside the walls. The hallway seemed endless, stretching into darkness before Ethan could take a breath. A deep voice echoed from everywhere. Commander detected. Ethan froze. Commander? He said, No, that can't be me. The voice repeated, stronger this time. Welcome, Commander. The Astra Warship awaits your orders. Ethan felt cold all over. Warship? Commander? Why him? He had never commanded anything bigger than a computer game. He was just a simple technician, not a leader, not a soldier. He stepped out into the hallway slowly. The moment he did, the floor lit up under his feet, as if guiding him. Blue light spread forward, creating a glowing path that led deeper into the ship. Ethan took one step, then another. The ship seemed to respond to him, almost like it was watching him. After a few seconds, he reached a huge door with a shining golden symbol. It looked like a star mixed with a tiger's eyes. The symbol pulsed with light. The voice spoke again. Crew ready for introduction. Ethan's mouth went dry. Crew? What crew? Before he could finish, the massive door opened. And he froze. Again. Standing inside the room were 12 alien warrior women. They were tall, almost 7 feet. Their skin glowed softly, some silver, some blue, some golden. Their hair flowed like liquid light. Their armor was elegant but deadly, made of shining plates that moved like living metal. Their eyes were bright and sharp, like they could see every fear in Ethan's heart. The moment Ethan stepped inside, all 12 warriors bowed on one knee. The tallest one spoke first, her voice calm but powerful. Commander, we have been waiting for your arrival. Ethan swallowed hard. Think you're mistaken. I'm not a commander. I don't know anything about commanding a warship. The warriors lifted their heads. They stared at him like he had said something impossible. The leader spoke again. The ship chose you. The Astra Warship accepts only one master. And that master is you. Ethan shook his head. There must be some error. Before he could finish, the ship suddenly shook slow but deep, like something huge moved outside. One warrior touched the control panel and frowned. Commander, enemy ships detected. They have found us. Ethan's jaw dropped. Enemy ships? Found us? Why would anyone chase me? The warrior replied without emotion. They are not chasing you. They are chasing us. You are in danger because you are our commander now. Ethan stepped back, panic rising. Listen, I didn't sign up for this. I don't even know where I am. The leader warrior rose and stood close, towering over him. Yet her voice softened slightly. Commander Ethan Cole, we will protect you with our lives, but we need your command. The ship only responds to your voice, your choices. Without you, we cannot fight. Ethan blinked fast. His heart raced. You want me to lead you in a battle? The warrior nodded once. Yes, only you. The ship shook again, this time harder. Red lights flashed along the walls. A loud alarm echoed. Enemy warship approaching. Prepare for action. Ethan felt his legs weaken. He wanted to run. He wanted to wake up. He wanted this strange nightmare to end, but the warriors did not move. They looked at him, waiting. Trusting him completely, Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. He took one single deep breath. Then he whispered, "What do I have to do?" The leader's eyes glowed brighter. She stepped forward and said, "Commander, give us your first order." The screen fades. Hook complete. Ethan followed the 12 alien warriors down the glowing hallway. Still confused, still scared, and still unsure why this strange ship obeyed him. Every step he took made the floor light up like it was welcoming him. The ship felt alive. Watching him, waiting. The warriors walked in a perfect formation around him, 6 in front, 6 behind. Their armor shimmered like sunlight on water, changing color as they moved. Even though they looked beautiful, Ethan could feel the danger in their calm steps. These women were fighters. Strong, fast, and trained for war. Ethan finally spoke, his voice shaky. "I need answers. Who are you? Why do you call me Commander?" The tall warrior who seemed to be the leader turned her head slightly. "Commander, we are the Astra Guard, protectors of the ancient Star Kingdom. Our duty is to guard this warship and its chosen master." Ethan frowned. "Chosen master? I didn't choose anything. I don't even know how I got here." The leader replied softly, "The ship chose you." Ethan sighed. "Yeah, but why me? What makes me special?" The hall suddenly opened into a circular chamber filled with floating blue screens and a large glowing crystal in the center. The crystal pulsed like a slow heartbeat. The warriors stopped, forming a circle around Ethan. The leader pointed to the crystal. "Commander, place your hand here. It will show you the truth." Ethan hesitated. "Is this safe?" The warrior nodded. "Safe for you. The ship knows you." Ethan stepped forward slowly. His hand trembled as he touched the surface. It felt warm at first, then suddenly cold. The crystal glowed brighter, and images flashed inside it. Stars, galaxies, strange planets, ancient temples, and then a human silhouette. Ethan's heart raced. "Is that me?" The leader nodded. "Yes, a long time ago, our ancestors made a great prophecy. A human commander would one day appear, able to unlock the final power of this warship. No Astra warrior can activate it. Only a human can." Ethan shook his head in disbelief. "That sounds crazy. Humans don't even know aliens exist." Another warrior stepped forward, this one smaller, with soft golden eyes. "Commander Ethan, your world does not know us. But we have watched Earth for many years. Humans carry a rare energy in their DNA. You have something that we, and many other species, do not." Ethan blinked. "What thing?" "Instinct." The room fell silent. Ethan stared at them. "Instinct? Everyone has instinct." The golden-eyed warrior shook her head. "Not like humans. Humans make fast decisions without logic, sometimes foolish, sometimes brilliant. But in battle, this makes you unpredictable. Machines cannot predict humans. Enemy ships cannot calculate human decisions. This is why you are chosen." Ethan didn't know whether to feel proud or terrified. The leader continued, "And only a human can speak to the heart of the ship. This warship is built with ancient Earth origin energy. It responds to your emotions, your fear, your courage, your choices." Ethan's eyes widened. "That explains why it fired earlier, why it reacted when I panicked." The warriors bowed their heads in agreement, but then the leader added something that made Ethan step back. "Commander, we were not waiting for you by chance. We were created for you." Ethan froze. "Created? What do you mean?" The small golden-eyed warrior spoke gently. "We are not fully natural beings. We were born of Astra mothers but shaped by the Warship. Each of us has a role. Each of us is connected to you through the ship's command link. We exist to serve and protect you." Ethan swallowed hard. "You're saying you were created to obey me?" The warriors nodded in perfect unison. "Yes, Commander." A long silence fell between them. Ethan looked at their faces, strong, beautiful, glowing with power, and he suddenly felt the weight of responsibility on his chest. These were not just soldiers. They were living beings depending on him. The leader stepped closer. "You must understand something important. Your arrival is not an accident. You were brought here because the galaxy is changing. A great enemy rises. They are hunting all Astra warriors. They want this ship, and they will destroy anything in their path." Ethan felt cold inside. "So that's why they were chasing us?" "Yes, and they will return, stronger each time." Ethan stared at the glowing crystal again. "What do you want from me?" The leader's eyes glowed softly. "To lead us. To use the instincts only humans have. To unlock the full power of the Astra Warship so we can survive." Ethan shook his head slowly. "I don't know if I can do that. I'm not brave. I'm not a commander. I'm just me." The golden-eyed warrior stepped forward, her voice warm like calm fire. "Commander, bravery is not something you are born with. It is something you do. And you already did something brave." Ethan blinked. "What? You stayed?" "You did. Not run. You did not hide. The ship saw your heart. That is why it chose you." Before Ethan could respond, alarms suddenly exploded across the chamber. Red lights flashed on every wall. The ship's voice echoed loudly. "Warning, enemy fleet has entered tracking range. Prepare for possible attack." The leader tightened her armor and looked at Ethan. "Commander, it begins now. What is your order?" The moment froze. The warriors stared at him. The ship waited. And Ethan realized something, whether he liked it or not. The galaxy now needed him. The alarms screamed through the warship like a rising storm. Red lights flashed around Ethan, making the room look alive and dangerous. The alien warriors instantly formed a defensive circle around him, their armor shifting into combat mode. Plates moved, glowing lines appeared, and helmets sealed with a soft hiss. The leader warrior, Arya, turned sharply toward the floating screens. Enemy signal confirmed. Distance, 30,000 units and closing fast. Ethan stepped forward, trying to keep his hands from shaking. "Who are they? Why are they chasing us again?" Arya replied with calm but sharp eyes. "They are the Karn Dominion. They destroy any race that stands in their way. And they want the Astra Warship more than anything." Another warrior brought up a glowing map. A red dot moved toward a blue dot. "Their ship." "Commander, their weapons are already charged." Ethan swallowed. His heart thumped painfully in his chest. "So, they plan to attack?" Arya nodded. "They will attack until we are gone." Ethan looked around at the glowing chamber, at the crystal pulsing with light, at the warriors who all stared at him, waiting for his command. He felt small, weak, like a normal Earth kid trapped in a nightmare he didn't understand. But the ship didn't care about his fear, because suddenly the deep voice echoed again. "Commander Ethan Cole, please confirm battle protocol." Ethan froze. I don't know battle protocol." The golden-eyed warrior, Lyra, stepped forward. "Commander, you don't need to know. The ship responds to your instinct. Just speak what you feel. It will understand." Ethan looked at her, confused. "That sounds crazy." Lyra smiled softly. "So are humans, and that is your power." Before Ethan could reply, The enemy ship appeared on the main screen, a massive black warship. Sharp edges, red engines burning like fire. It looked like a predator searching for prey. Ethan's stomach twisted. That thing is hunting us? Arya nodded. Yes, and it will not stop. The enemy ship fired the first shot, a streak of red energy that flew toward them like a comet. A warrior shouted, "Impact in 5 seconds." Ethan panicked. "Can't we dodge? Move the ship." Arya pressed her palm to a glowing console. "Commander, it will only move if you command it." Ethan stared at the screen, his breath rushing. 5 seconds, 4, 3. His hands shook. Heart racing. He didn't know what to do, but his mind screamed, "Move." And at that exact moment, the entire warship tilted sharply to the side. Ethan stumbled, grabbing a railing. The energy blast shot past them, missing by only meters. Arya turned, her eyes wide. "The ship obeyed your thought, Commander." Ethan's mouth dropped open. "I didn't command anything. I just reacted." Lyra stepped closer, her voice soft. "That is the instinct we spoke of. You act fast, you do not overthink. The ship reads your fear and protects you." Ethan exhaled shakily. "Okay. Then let's try something else." Another enemy blast appeared on screen. This time Ethan didn't wait. He pointed at the screen. "Fire back!" His voice cracked, but it didn't matter. Because instantly, the warship's cannons glowed bright blue and unleashed a massive beam of energy. The floor vibrated. The air trembled. The sound was deep and powerful, like a thunderstorm trapped inside metal walls. The beam hit the enemy ship directly. A huge explosion lit up space, shaking both vessels. Lyra whispered, almost in awe, "Commander, your first attack was perfect." Ethan stared, shocked. "I didn't plan it, I just panicked." Another warrior smiled. "Then panic well, Commander. Your panic is stronger than most leaders' strategy." But the battle wasn't over. On the screen, through smoke and fire, the enemy ship still moved. "Damaged, yes, but alive." Arya's voice tightened. "They are preparing a final strike. A powerful one." Ethan felt his heart race again. "What do I do now?" Lyra stepped closer, speaking quietly only to him. "Trust yourself. Listen to your fear. Then turn it into action." Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. The fear was strong, cold, sharp, fast. But behind it, there was something new, a feeling that he could do this. He opened his eyes and spoke loudly. "Aim for their main engine, one strong hit." The warship responded instantly. The cannons charged again, brighter, stronger, louder than before. The energy inside the ship seemed to swirl like a storm, gathering into one perfect shot. Ethan whispered, "Please work." Arya shouted, "Firing!" The ship released a blinding beam of blue-white light. The enemy warship lit up on the screen, then exploded into fragments across the darkness of space. Silence fell inside the chamber. No alarms. No danger. Only the sound of Ethan's breathing. The warriors slowly turned toward him. Arya placed a hand over her chest and bowed. "Commander Ethan Cole, today you saved us." Lyra stepped forward too, her eyes warm. "And you saved yourself. The ship listens to your heart. You are becoming our true leader." Ethan looked at them surprised. Still shaking, he had won the first battle, but he knew the real war had not even begun. The battlefield. Silence still hung in the air as Ethan stood in the command chamber, breathing hard. The warriors had returned to their calm formation, but even their steady eyes revealed something new: respect. Real respect. Ethan didn't understand how he had survived that fight. He didn't understand how instinct, fear, or some strange connection had helped him command a ship that belonged to another world. But he had done it. Arya, the leader warrior, stepped forward. "Commander Ethan Cole, the ship has confirmed your authority. You are now ready to know the mission." Ethan raised a brow. "Mission? I thought the mission was staying alive." Arya shook her head gently. "No, Commander. The battle you just fought was only a small taste of what is coming. The real mission is far more dangerous." She waved her hand and a hologram appeared, a glowing sphere representing a hidden planet. It shimmered with strange colors, like it was wrapped in living light. "This world is called Elis Ra," Arya explained. "It is ancient, older than our race, older than the Karn Dominion. And inside it lies the heart core, a machine of unlimited energy." Ethan studied the hologram. The planet looked beautiful, almost peaceful. "What does this machine do?" Lyra, the golden-eyed warrior, stepped forward from the shadows. "Commander, the heart core can save galaxies or destroy them. It reacts to the emotions of the one who awakens it." Ethan's eyes widened. "Emotions? Again with emotions? Why does everything in this galaxy run on feelings?" Lyra gave a soft smile. "Because emotions guide choices, and choices shape worlds." Before Ethan could respond, Arya added, "There's only one species that can activate the heart core: humans." Ethan almost choked. "Humans? Why humans? We don't even know this place exists." Lyra approached him slowly, her eyes gentle. "Your species carries a rare emotional spectrum. Hope, fear, courage, despair, all mixed in a way no other species has. The heart core responds to that spectrum. It chooses a human to judge the galaxy." Ethan stared at them. "So you're saying I'm supposed to activate some ancient galaxy-controlling machine?" Arya nodded. "Yes, that is why the ship brought you here. That is why the Karn Dominion hunts us. They want the heart core for themselves. If they reach it first, all life will be in danger." Ethan felt the weight on his chest again, heavier than before. He wasn't just a commander by accident. He was a key, a living key to a power too large for him to understand. "How far is this planet?" he asked quietly. Arya turned back to the hologram. "At our current speed, 2 days, but the Karn Dominion will hunt us. They will not let us reach Elis Ra easily." Ethan pressed his hands against the railing, thinking. He wanted to run. He wanted to go back to Earth and pretend none of this had happened. But he also knew something deep inside. No one else could do this. If he refused, the galaxy might fall. As he looked up, he noticed Lyra watching him, not with judgment, but with something softer. She stepped closer to him, her voice lower than before. "Commander, if you feel afraid, it is normal. Even we feel fear. But fear is not weakness." Ethan met her eyes. "What if I make the wrong choice?" Lyra shook her head gently. "You already made the right choice once, when you faced the enemy ship. The heart core will feel your truth. It will follow the person you really are." Ethan didn't know why, but Lyra's words calmed him more than anything else. There was something different about her compared to the others, a warmth behind her warrior strength. As if she understood him better than the rest, Arya interrupted the moment. "We must prepare for jump. The Karn Dominion will return with more ships. They never attack alone." Ethan nodded slowly. "All right. Set course for Elis Ra." The ship acknowledged his order with a deep hum. The glowing lights brightened. The walls vibrated softly. The floor shifted under their feet. Lyra touched a panel and said, "Commander, warp jump will begin in 60 seconds. Ethan exhaled slowly. "Let's do it." The unexpected shift. Just as the engines began to charge, the ship flickered. The lights dimmed. A strange tension spread through the air, like the ship was holding its breath. Ethan frowned. "What's happening?" A warrior checked the readings. "Commander, there is a strange energy signature inside the ship." Ethan tensed. "Inside? Someone snuck in?" Arya raised her hand. "No, someone is interfering. Lyra stepped to Ethan's side, protective. "Commander, stay close." Without warning, the crystal in the center of the chamber flared with bright purple light, throwing long shadows across the room. The ship's deep voice echoed. "Warning! Internal source attempting to override navigation." Ethan stared at the glowing crystal. What does that even mean? Lyra tightened her grip on her staff. "It means someone or something does not want us to reach Elisra." The ship shook violently. The lights went red. The alarms echoed louder than ever. Arya yelled, "Commander! Someone is trying to take control of the ship." The screen turned black. A single message glowed. "We are coming." Ethan felt cold down his spine. The Karn Dominion was already one step ahead. The warship continued to shake as the warning, "We are coming," glowed across every screen. Ethan held the edge of the control table, trying to understand what was happening. The crew rushed around him, checking controls, sealing doors, and preparing weapons. But even through the chaos, Ethan noticed something strange. Some of the warriors were exchanging glances. Whispers passed between them. Not fear, doubt. Ethan felt the tension growing. Arya, the leader warrior, stepped forward. "Commander, we must lock down the ship immediately. Someone inside is trying to override our navigation." Ethan nodded. "Do it." Arya signaled the warriors. Doors sealed, lights dimmed. The ship entered emergency protocol. But then Ethan heard it, a voice behind him, cold, sharp, angry. Why should we listen to him? Ethan turned. A tall warrior with dark blue armor and blazing silver eyes stepped out of formation. She was stronger looking than the rest, her armor heavier, her presence fierce. Ethan had noticed her earlier, silent, dangerous, always watching him. Her name was Ryla. Arya narrowed her eyes. "Ryla, this is not the time." Ryla ignored her. She pointed her spear toward Ethan. "He is human, weak, confused, untrained. And yet the ship obeys him. We kneel for him." "Why?" The room fell silent. Ethan felt his heart pound, but he stood still. Rayla took another step forward. "Commander, you nearly got us killed in the last battle. You acted out of fear, not courage. That is not leadership." Lyra, standing beside Ethan, stepped in front of him instantly. "Ryla, enough. The commander saved us." Ryla scoffed. "Saved? Saved?" Stepped in front of him instantly. "Ryla, enough. The commander saved us." Ryla scoffed. Sora scoffed. "Saved?" He panicked, and we won by accident. Ethan clenched his fists, but stayed quiet. Arya moved to stop Ryla, but the warrior lifted her hand sharply, signaling her to stay back. "This ship is Astra property," Ryla continued. "Our ancestors built it. We trained for decades. We gave our lives to protect it." She pointed her spear at Ethan again, and now we follow a human boy who does not know our rules, our history, or our mission. Arya spoke firmly. "Rayla, the ship chose him. That is law." Rayla's eyes flashed with anger. "The ship is malfunctioning. Or the prophecy is wrong. Humans cannot command us." Ethan finally spoke, keeping his voice steady. "You're right about one thing. I don't know your world. But I didn't ask for this role. I didn't want to lead anyone. Yet here we are." Rayla stepped closer, her armor glowing with fierce blue light. "Then step down, human. Give command to someone worthy." Before Ethan could reply, she lunged forward, her spear slicing the air. Lyra reacted instantly. She blocked Rayla's strike with her staff, sparks flying across the chamber. The warriors gasped. Arya shouted, "Stand down! Both of you!" But Ryla pushed harder, her strength overwhelming. "You protect him like he is your mate, Lyra. Are you forgetting your purpose?" Lyra's eyes burned with fire. "I protect him because he is our commander." Their weapons clashed again, metal ringing through the chamber. Ethan felt a rush of adrenaline. He couldn't let them tear each other apart because of him. He stepped forward, shouting, "Stop!" But the fight continued. Rayla pushed Lyra back, blades flashing dangerously close. "Humans are weak," Rayla yelled. "We will die under his command." Ethan closed his eyes. He felt something inside. A pull, a connection with the ship, a heartbeat matching his. A voice without sound. He didn't think. He just acted. He shouted, "Ship, freeze all movement." For a moment, nothing happened. Then suddenly, all lights froze, all doors locked, and Lyra and Ryla's weapons stopped in place. Suspended midair, Lyra gasped. Rayla's eyes widened. Ethan stood firmly, breathing hard. He didn't know what he had done, but the ship listened. Ryla slowly lowered her weapon as the energy lock released. She stared at Ethan with a mixture of disbelief and frustration. "You commanded the ship directly," she said quietly. "No Astro warrior has ever done that." Arya stepped beside Ethan. "Do you understand now, Ryla? He is chosen. You cannot deny it." Rayla looked down, her jaw tight. But this time, she did not argue. Ethan spoke, voice calm but strong. "I'm not here to replace your history. I'm not here to take your honor. I'm here because your ship brought me, and because you need me." Rayla looked up, her expression conflicted. Ethan continued, "And I need all of you, including you, Rayla." That surprised her. "And the rest of the crew." Ethan softened his voice. "I don't want followers who hate me. I want warriors who fight beside me. If you give me a chance, I'll earn your trust." Silence filled the room. Finally, Rayla went down on one knee. A gesture of acceptance. "I will follow, Commander," she said reluctantly. "But I will watch you closely." Ethan nodded. "Fair enough." But before anyone could relax, the ship's deep voice echoed again. This time sharper. Karn Dominion fleet detected. 10 warships, approaching fast. Arya's eyes hardened. "They tracked our jump energy. They are coming for the hardcore." Lyra looked at Ethan. "Commander, this time they won't come alone. Prepare yourself." Ethan felt his chest tighten. The mutiny was over, but the real fight was only beginning. The warship's alarm echoed through every hallway, loud and sharp. "Warning, 10 Karn Dominion warships approaching. Impact in 3 minutes." Ethan felt the pressure rise inside his chest. The warriors ran to their positions, their armor glowing brighter as the ship entered full combat mode. Energy shields activated. Weapons hummed. The air itself felt heavier, like the ship was preparing for war. Arya turned to Ethan. "Commander, we cannot face 10 ships alone. We must escape." Ethan nodded quickly. "Then prepare for another warp jump." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "We will need full power. The last jump drained half of our energy." Ethan grabbed the console. "Do whatever we must. Just get us away from them." But before Lyra could activate the engines, the screens around them suddenly glitched. Lines of red text flashed violently. Arya frowned. "What is this?" "The system is rejecting our commands." Lyra's voice tensed. "Someone is interfering again." Ethan's heartbeat quickened. "You mean, like before?" Lyra shook her head. "No, this interruption is coming from inside the ship's core." Arya slammed her hand on the panel. "Find the source." 2 warriors ran to the interior controls. The glowing symbols changed rapidly as they searched. After a long, tense moment, one of the warriors gasped, "Commander, someone locked the power grid from the armory sector." Ethan's eyes widened. "Locked? Why would someone do that?" Arya's face hardened. "Because someone on board is betraying us." The realization hit Ethan like ice. Lyra tightened her grip on her staff. "We must split up, find the traitor, free the power grid." Ethan shook his head. "No, nobody splits up. Not with an enemy fleet coming." Arya corrected him. We have no time. If we do not unlock the grid in 60 seconds, the ship will be unable to jump. And the Karn fleet will destroy us. Ethan clenched his jaw. Fine, but stay in pairs. No one goes alone. Lyra stepped beside him instantly. I go with the commander. Rayla approached too, her expression serious. And I will secure the rear. Ethan nodded. Let's move. The dark armory, the hallways shook as enemy blasts hit the ship's shields. Sparks flew from the ceiling. Ethan ran with Lyra and Rayla through the metallic corridors, the lights flickering. The warship struggled to hold the attack. When they reached the armory, the doors were sealed shut with a glowing red lock. Lyra touched the door. This is a manual override. Only an Astra warrior can place this lock. Rayla stepped closer, eyes dark. Then the traitor is one of us. Ethan's heart dropped. He already survived a mutiny earlier. But now there was betrayal too. Can you break it? He asked. Lyra nodded. Yes, but it will take a few seconds. She pressed her hands against the red lock. Blue sparks traveled up her arms as she tried to break the override. Rayla stood. Guard behind them. Hurry, the enemy will breach our shields soon. The ship trembled violently, throwing Ethan off balance. Lyra steadied him before he fell. Ethan whispered, Thank you. Lyra gave a small smile. I will always protect you. But before Ethan could reply, Rayla suddenly shoved Ethan and Lyra aside. Her spear pointed towards something in the darkness. Behind them, a shadow, a figure stepping out. Ethan froze. It was another Astra warrior, armor cracked, eyes glowing with red corruption. Her name was Vesa, one of the quieter warriors who rarely spoke, but now her voice was cold. Unnatural. You should not have come here, Commander. Lyra stepped in front of Ethan instantly. Vesa, what have you done? Why betray us? Vesa laughed, a sound sharp like broken glass. I did not betray anyone. I simply chose the winning side. Rayla growled. You joined the Karn Dominion? They kill our people. Vesa's smile twisted. They promised me freedom, power. They promised I would never kneel again. Ethan stepped forward. I don't want anyone kneeling for me. This isn't about power. Vesa pointed her corrupted spear at him. That is why you are unworthy. Without warning, she attacked. Lyra blocked her strike, sparks exploding as their weapons clashed. Rayla joined the fight, her spear cutting through the air with deadly precision. Ethan could do nothing but watch as the three warriors fought in a deadly storm of light and steel. The armory lights flickered. The ship shook. The Karn Dominion attacks grew heavier. Lyra shouted, Commander! Unlock the grid while we hold her off. Ethan rushed to the control panel. His hands shook as he remembered the command words Arya used earlier. He placed his palm on the glowing lock. Ship, release power grid. Authorization, Commander Ethan. The lock resisted. Vesa's corrupted voice screamed, He cannot break it. He is weak. Lyra pushed her back with a blast of blue energy. He is our commander. Ethan pressed his palm harder. He closed his eyes. He thought about Earth, about the first battle, about saving them earlier, about Lyra stepping in front of him again and again. He whispered, I choose to protect them. Unlock the grid. The crystal responded. The red lock shattered. Lyra and Rayla both pushed Vesa back as the armory lights turned blue again. The ship's deep voice echoed. Power grid restored. Warp engines charging. Lyra turned to Ethan, eyes glowing with pride. You did it. Rayla nodded reluctantly. He is worthy, after all. But before they could breathe, the ship shook violently. Arya's voice came through the comms. Commander, warp engines are ready, but we must jump now. The fleet is firing their strongest weapon. Lyra grabbed Ethan's arm. Commander, we must return to the bridge. This jump might kill us, but staying will kill us for sure. Ethan looked around, the traitor defeated, the grid restored. But the war was far from over. He nodded. Then let's jump. The Astra warship shook violently as Ethan, Lyra, Ryla, and the warriors rushed back to the bridge. The Karn Dominion fleet was everywhere red. Ships closing in like hungry wolves ready to crush their single vessel. Arya shouted over the alarms, "Commander! Their strongest weapon is charging. If it fires, we will not survive." Ethan took a deep breath. His body trembled, but his voice didn't. "Activate warp jump." Now Lyra slid into her position, her fingers glowing as she touched the control. "Lines, warp core at maximum. Brace yourselves." The enemy's massive cannon glowed brighter. Preparing to fire a planet-killer level blast, Ryla yelled, "They're about to shoot." Ethan tightened his grip. "Jump!" Boom of the ship tore forward, ripping through space just as the enemy blast fired. Space folded around them like shattered glass. Lights exploded around the bridge. Gravity twisted. Ethan felt his body pulled in every direction at once. Then silence. A soft hum, a gentle blue glow. Lyra opened her eyes slowly. We made it." Arya checked the coordinates. Her eyes widened. "Commander, we have arrived at the Forbidden's planet." Ethan stood shakily, staring out the giant window. There it was. Ir West Ra. A breathtaking world floating in the dark. Its surface shimmered with swirling blue, gold, and white colors, almost like a living painting. Long golden rivers of energy wrapped around mountains. The atmosphere glowed like dawn trapped in a bubble. It didn't look like a planet. It looked like a dream. Ethan whispered, "This place, it feels alive." Lyra stepped beside him, her expression soft. "Yes, Commander, because the heart core sleeps inside it." Arya turned toward Ethan. "We must go down. Only you can enter the inner chamber. Only you can awaken the core." Ryla added, "And the Karn Dominion will follow our trace. They will be here soon." Ethan felt a wave of pressure. So many lives depended on him. A machine of unlimited power waited below, and he had no idea what would happen when he touched it. Still, he nodded. "Prepare the landing shuttle." The descent, the small shuttle flew down toward the planet, slicing through clouds of glowing mist. Ethan sat between Lyra and Ryla, gripping the seat. As they descended, strange shapes moved beneath them, floating crystals. Forests made of light. Oceans that glowed from within. Lyra watched him quietly. "You feel it, Commander, don't you?" Ethan looked at her. "Feel what?" "The call. The heart core is aware of you." Ethan glanced out the window again. He did feel something, a pulse, a quiet whisper inside his mind. As if the planet itself was waiting for him, Rayla spoke without looking back. "Prepare yourself. The core does not judge with eyes, it judges with truth." The shuttle landed softly on a glowing platform surrounded by tall pillars. The pillars hummed as Ethan stepped out, releasing waves of energy. Arya bowed slightly. "This is where we stop. Only the chosen can go further." Lyra approached Ethan, placing her hand gently over his. "Commander, whatever happens inside, remember one thing. You are not alone." Ethan nodded slowly, but deep inside, he felt completely alone. The chamber of truth, a path of floating stones, formed in front of him. Ethan walked forward, each step lighting up the ground. As he reached the final platform, a massive circular door appeared. It opened like petals unfolding. Inside was the heart core. A giant sphere of glowing white-blue energy floated in the center, surrounded by ancient symbols that rotated around it in silence. The energy inside moved like a living sun, beautiful, strong, and frightening. Ethan stepped closer. He felt the power pulling him, calling him. Then a voice echoed, not from the ship, not from the planet, from inside the core itself. "Human, you have arrived," Ethan whispered. "You know me? I know your heart. I know your fear. I know your desire to protect. The warriors outside watched, unable to enter. Ethan reached out his hand slowly. The core glowed brighter white. Light filling the chamber. Human commander. Choose the fate of the galaxy. But then, a second voice echoed. Cold, dark, familiar. He will choose nothing. The entire chamber shook. Ethan spun around. Shadow stepped into the room, glitching like broken light. Layra gasped from outside. No, it can't be, Arya whispered in shock. The Karn Dominion found a way inside. The shadow solidified. It was V.E.S. Adat, the traitor. But she was no longer Astra. Her body was changed, covered in red-black corruption. Her eyes blazing. With dark fire, she smiled slowly. You did not think I died, did you, Commander? Ethan stepped back, heart pounding. Vesa raised her corrupted spear. The Karn Dominion wants the heart core, and I will take it for them. The core flared with blinding light. Danger. Foreign entity detected. Vesa laughed. Let me show you what true power looks like. She leaped toward Ethan. The chamber exploded with light, and everything went white.